What we have here is the Godox SL60 video light. And we can see in the box, let's see what we have here. Alright, standard documentation. That looks like a pretty long cord, which is nice. Yeah, standard packaging. We have the light here. Pull this out. And yeah, that's a nice metal housing. Protective cap. Pretty decent looking. I mean, this is a very inexpensive video light. And let's see. This is a plastic mount. Yeah, it's a little bit of a funky ratcheting mechanism in there. But yeah, plastic handle. I mean, for this expensive or this inexpensive of a video light, that's to be expected. I mean, this thing's only $134. So let's see. Let's take the cover off. Alright, so there is the LED chip with a nice big heatsink. We have our back control panel. Looks like a standard IEC power connector. Knob for, I assume, the light level. And this looks like group and channel settings. Alright, let's put that aside. And in the box, let's see, it comes with a reflector. We'll have to do some testing to see what the light output pattern looks like on this. This is a Bowen's mount, or Bowen style mount. I haven't used that before. I have a couple soft boxes that are umbrella style soft boxes, and this does have an umbrella pass through right there, so I should be able to use my existing soft boxes with these. Let's see what else we have. Okay, this is the included remote control. Do they give us batteries? No, but hey, at least they take regular AAA batteries. That's nice. A lot of these smaller remote controls take like CR2 lithium batteries that are a little more expensive. I got a nice big pack of AAAs in my drawer, so that's actually nice that it's just a regular standard battery. And that's it. Alright. Let's get this other stuff out of the way. Alright. And let's see, the reflector should go on just like this. See what looks like there is a punch out right here. A punch out right here that if you want to use the reflector with the with an umbrella, you could just kind of punch this guy out and pass your umbrella shaft through that. So let's see, let's put this on. Alright, that's a little finicky, but I mean, it's not too bad. Just gotta push down, there we go. Just gotta push down and then turn. I mean, for a $134 light, that's actually a pretty good looking deal here. So we'll have to get it up on a light stand, plug it in, and you know, see how she does. Alright, let's grab some batteries. So let's put these batteries in this guy. Okay. It's interesting. It has a color readout. It's got what looks to be 4400 Kelvin displayed on this remote. So I don't know if this remote is actually also meant to work with some other lights that you might be able to adjust the color temperature on. Let's see. Okay. So, yep, we have an on and off button. That looks like that turns the remote off. Alright. Okay, that is a really beefy power cord. I mean, that's actually pretty nice and surprisingly overkill for, you know, this inexpensive of a light. Okay, we're gonna get this guy powered up. Okay, so on the display we have a channel readout and this grid of letters. I assume that's like a group. So you have group and channel. And we have our set dial for brightness. Then there is a temperature readout. I guess that's so to let you know how hot the light is. Just so you're aware, you know, if it's going to be close to overheating. There should be like a protection circuit that will shut it down if it gets too hot. So that way I guess you can monitor the temperature and know if you're going to be getting pretty close. Okay, and the lowest we can go to is 10%. That's the lowest level we can set, but then it is adjustable in 1% increments. So there's a lot of that is pretty nice. What are you doing up here? Come on. I know. You see twist ties and you want them. Looks like you push this button. Yeah, there we go. We can toggle through the groups and push the knob in to set it. And yep, push this button again and you can rotate through the channels. I assume you need to make sure that the remote is on the same channel and group. So let's test that out. So we're on group A. And we want to be on channel 8. And I will set that. So it looks like there's no communication between the light and the remote. So the light is displaying 13% and the remote is displaying 50%. Let's see what happens when I go up and down. Okay. So the remote just sends a fixed light level, whatever it's whatever you have displaying on the remote. Come on, let's get down. So the remote was at 50% when I hit the minus button. It went to 49% and the light jumped from 13% to 49%. So the light just, it looks like the remote just sends fixed values. And then yeah, and then as we go down, then I can turn the light up. Yeah, it's just one-way communication from the remote to the light. Yeah. Okay, so that's the basic functionality of the light. I guess the next thing to do would be to get it up onto a light stand, and then we can put some modifiers on it and take a look at what the light quality is. Okay, this is the light mounted up on a stand now. It's set to the minimum brightness, and I have the reflector off right now, and as we can see, it throws a pretty wide pattern of light. Yeah, it's definitely more focused in the center, and then it has fall off to the sides, and it's actually a pretty smooth fall off. I gotta say, I'm actually kind of impressed by that. Not familiar with these big single LED chips, but it's a pretty nice pattern. It's not, there's no sharp lines, so you could probably feather this light pretty nicely. And let's put the reflector on and see how that compares. So with the reflector on, I'd say that's probably about a 90-degree angle of cone of light coming out of the reflector. The light right now is only about 2.5 feet away from the wall, so it's a pretty wide beam of light. There is a hot spot in the middle. It's not a sharp hot spot, but it does. It's definitely brighter, focused in the middle, and then it kind of falls off gradually towards the sides. You can see like some fringing from the reflector, or I don't know what you would call that. There is like a circle pattern where you can see like a step or a transition. So that's interesting. I just turned on the remote, and the remote was set to 30% before. Then as soon as the remote turned on, the light instantly jumped to that. So the remote will turn the light off. That's interesting. Even though there is a hard power switch on the light, and you can see it's displaying that it's off. So even though it's hard powered on, it does have the LED chip turned off. And okay, just changing the set level at all will turn it back on. So right now the light is set to 10%. Let's turn on the remote and let's start adjusting. So the remote was set to 30%, and turning that back on, the light just instantly jumped to whatever the remote was set to. And we can turn the light up. It's a little slow to adjust with the remote. Okay, that was the light with the microphone brought in real close so you can hear the fan. The fan seems to run at a constant speed. As soon as you turn power onto the light, the fan turns on. It doesn't seem to be tied to the temperature. It's just on all the time. I've brought the microphone back to where I'm standing, and from where I am, I can hear the fan on the light. It's not too loud, and that was one of the downsides of this light that I saw mentioned in some other reviews, was that the fan noise was a little bit louder than some of the other more expensive products. But I suppose for the price point of this light, you're going to just have some compromises. There's just kind of no way around it. It's not too loud, and I suspect when I put it inside a modifier and it's not pointed or by the microphone, hopefully that doesn't get picked up on video too much. Okay, I've thrown the light inside my Westcott Apollo Orb softbox. It's a really nice softbox that it's built on an umbrella frame, so essentially there's a short umbrella shaft that you can mount that you can put into the light, and then the light actually faces backwards and reflects off the back before it goes through the front diffusion material. And I can tell already, without the diffuser fully in place, it's giving me a nice light quality. I did notice something interesting though as I was setting this up. The remote apparently has a lower limit of only 25%, The light itself you can adjust down to 10%, but the remote itself will not go any lower than 25%. It's kind of strange. It's the light I can adjust down to 10%, but the remote, as soon as I hit the button, the lowest it can go is 25%, and the light just jumped up to 25% itself. So that's really kind of weird. I don't understand why they couldn't make the remote go down to 10%. It's kind of a strange design decision or some kind of weird technical limitation. I don't quite understand it. Okay, I gotta say, I do love the softbox. It's really nice. It's actually pretty big. I think this is a 46-inch softbox, and it collapses down nicely into a small package due to that umbrella frame construction. I'm gonna spin this around so we can take a look at how it looks.